What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the whole month of UFC for February of 2025. So I'm doing like a monthly awards thing. You know how they do at the end of the year? They'll do like KO of the month, submission of the month, stuff like that. You can see all my criteria right here on the screen, or not criteria, all the categories. So I got KO of the month, submission of the month, debut of the month, card of the month, performance of the month, and fight of the month. So each one of these, except fight of the month and card of the month, will have two. So I'm going to be picking two KOs, two submissions, two debuts, and two performances. So let's get right into it. First on the list, we've got the first knockout of the month. Um, well, not the first knockout of the month, but like you know what I mean, guys. You know what I mean. Um, One of the two best knockouts of the month, in my opinion. This is all my opinion. You know, it's subjective. It's my channel. So if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you would put instead of what I have if you do disagree with me. But we got Nasruddin Imavov versus Israel Adesanya. So the reason I picked this one is because sorry, guys, my mic unplugged again. But the reason I picked this one is because nobody really expected this to happen. I thought Izzy was gonna win. I thought he would win a decision or get a late TKO. Because Imavov is a very good fighter. Obviously, now we know that. But like I knew that even before. I've picked him in almost every one of his fights to win. But I just didn't think he'd be able to fucking spark Izzy out on the feet. Like like I don't even know what to say. This was just insanely impressive. Um, he's really the only guy that was able to do that to Izzy on the feet besides Alex at 185. So that's very impressive. I mean, this was just an insane knockout overall. It was crazy to see Izzy really fucking get dropped and like properly finished on the ground because even the Alex fight, it was a standing TKO. So just for like how impressive this was and how unexpected it was for me, I have to put this as one of the best knockouts of the month. It was absolutely insane. And number two knockout of the month, Ricky Simone versus Javid Basharat. Now, the reason I got this one is because number one, I picked Ricky Simone to win. So this was like my best pick of the month. He was a massive underdog. Um, and I was just really confident that he was going to win. And then he goes out there and he literally knocks Javid Basharat's soul out of his body, dude. It was insane. Beautiful combo. This was just an amazing knockout. This was the most hyped I was for any fight this month in general, like for a winner. I went absolutely insane. This was just fucking crazy. So yeah, I had to put this one just because of how happy it made me. Um, and just the brutality of the knockout, dude. It was so brutal. One of the most brutal knockouts I've seen in a long time. Javid Basharat just went full fucking ragdoll mode. Um, he was completely out. Like he had the fucking CTE eyes. His eyes were completely glazed over. They were open, and like after you could hear him asking what happened, it was fucking crazy. For some reason they decided on the broadcast, let's put the camera right in his fucking face when he's out cold. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, this has got to be one of my knockouts of the month. Absolutely amazing. But on to submission of the month. So the first submission of the month that I've got here is Gabriel Santos versus Jack Jenkins. The reason that I have this on here is because Gabriel Santos came back from getting dropped in round one, and then he ended up submitting Jack Jenkins, who I think is a very good fighter. Um, and I also did pick this to happen, so I was also very happy about this. Um, this was just a very impressive thing to be able to do this to a fighter like Jack Jenkins, and I think Gabriel Santos has very real potential in the featherweight division. So I had to go with him for one of these submissions of the month because I'm pretty sure he dropped him with a front kick or like he hurt him with a front kick. He hurt him with something on the feet, and then he ended up submitting him. This was just an insanely impressive performance. Um, and there weren't that many submissions this month. Like there were only a couple. So out of the few that there were, I had to go with this one. This was great. I don't have much more to say about it. except it was great. So, on to the other submission of the month. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. Uh, Gabriel Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. Just look at this picture, bro. He turned him into a fucking ghost. He exorcised him with this Darce choke. This was one of the most like brutal submissions that I've seen ever. I have never seen somebody go out this fucking bad from a submission. He looks like he is getting exercised, bro. This was insane, and I didn't expect this to happen either. I thought Chaos Williams was gonna win, so this was pretty shocking to see for me. So I had to go with this one. This was also a beautiful submission. Gabriel Bonfim is very good. I knew he had good submissions. He is just very good, and this was something else, dude. I've never seen somebody look so fucking scary after a submission, dude. Like, look at him, bro. Look at him. Insane stuff. Not much more to say about it. Like, this was just crazy. But the debut of the month, number one, I've got Jose Delgado versus Connor Matthews. Now, since his fight on the Contender Series, I've been very high on Jose Delgado. I think he is a very good fighter. He's very impressive. And Connor Matthews isn't particularly that good, but to make your UFC debut and get a first round finish like this, it can't go much better. He fucking destroyed Connor Matthews. Is just very impressive. I think Jose Delgado will definitely be in the top 15, maybe top 10 one day. I think he's got a very good skill set. He's very well rounded. He trains at a good gym. And I was just very excited to see this because I knew he was good. I feel like a lot of people were picking him, but I watched his fight on the Contender Series live, and I haven't forgot about it since. So the fact that he got his UFC debut and it was so impressive, I got to put it on the list. And I feel like you guys can probably guess who the other debut is. Quillen Skullkiller versus Anshul Jubilee. Um, he redeemed Anshul Jubilee, man. He redeemed him. He clocked him on the head with the right hand. Anshul Jubilee went down, and you could actually hear him after they stopped the fight. You could hear him telling the ref, like, "Why did you redeem it? I told you not to redeem it. I was good. Why did you redeem, sir? Don't redeem, sir." So you could hear that happening. It was very sad. You know, Anshul Jubilee was like the only Indian MMA fighter. Hopefully he can make a comeback, but like you can't get much better of a debut than Quillen Skullkiller. What a weird fucking name, by the way. Who the fuck names their kid Quillen? By the way, like who? I don't know. Weird name, but name aside, like your UFC debut cannot go much better than this. You go out there, you knock a guy out in 20 seconds. It doesn't get better than that. Insane debut. I think Quillen Skullkiller is also very good. Exciting prospect. Keep your eye on this guy, dude. He's good. On to the card of the month. This one is pretty obvious in my opinion. Cejudo versus Yadong, UFC Seattle. All the prelim fights were finishes. There were several finishes on the main card. Great fights on the main card. Really, the only thing bad about this card was the main event. The main event was unfortunate, but I don't think that takes that much quality away from the card as a whole. I had the most fun watching this card out of any other card this month. It was just great. Constant entertaining fights. Like there was not much to be mad about with this card other than the main event. This was just a pleasure to watch. It was great. We need cards like this every fucking card. Okay, this was insane. Not much more to say about it. Like you compare this to all the other events this month, and I think this one is pretty easily the best one. So, I wish the main event was better because then it would have been like an all-time fucking goated fight night. But not everything can be perfect, and even the main event without the eye pokes, it was a good fight. So gotta go with this card. But for the performance of the month, I got Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland in the rematch. Dricus shut down Sean Strickland for 5 rounds. He figured out his defense. He didn't let Sean Strickland change anything about his game plan. He was just on him the whole time. He outclassed Sean Strickland this time, and he shut down anybody still talking shit about the first fight. I think people are wrong about this fight. Like, the consensus opinion after this fight was like, "Oh, Sean Strickland, he sucks. He's terrible. Um, he doesn't ever change his fight style," which is true. He doesn't ever change his fight style because it works so fucking well. I get that he wasn't really listening to his coaches, but still, he is an elite fighter. He's one of the best middleweights. He shut down Israel Adesanya 50-45. Um, just it was crazy for Dricus to be able to win every round, break Sean Strickland's nose, and just kind of beat him up. Like he was always like Dricus. The thing about Dricus is like he gets better every fight, and his coaches are amazing. They come up with great game plans. So Dricus in this fight just did not let Sean Strickland get any offense off. He was mixing up his attacks. He was throwing kicks to the legs, kicks to the body, kicks to the head. He was throwing spinning elbows. He was throwing overhands, straight punches. Like, he was throwing everything. He just mixed up all his strikes very well. I think Dricus is one of the most versatile strikers ever in middleweight. He just throws an insane variety of techniques. Like, he mixes things up on the feet so well. He didn't even need to shoot takedowns in this fight. This was honestly, it might have been the most impressive performance of Dricus's career. And I know people are really going to disagree with me on this because, it was a decision. The fight in itself wasn't that entertaining. But I think, I just told you guys what I think. It's my opinion. I think this was one of the most impressive fights on Dricus's resume because at the end of the day, Sean Strickland, whether he was listening to his coaches or not, is still an insanely good fighter. And he's beaten almost everybody that he's fought at middleweight. He's only lost to a couple guys. So that's my reason for having this as performance of the month. But on to the other performance of the month. I have to give it to Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez. Jared went out there. He got dropped on his ass twice in round one. He came back from adversity. He weathered the storm, and he beat the shit out of Gregory Rodriguez, man. Jared Cannonier is like 41 years old, still doing this shit. He's one of my favorite fighters, so I had to give it to him. Like, this is just an insanely impressive thing to be able to do, especially after getting, like, hurt so bad in his last couple fights. To be able to still have that level of recovery and be able to come back from getting dropped so bad, very impressive. And he's just a very good, well-rounded fighter, Jared. Like, he's got good boxing. He was throwing some very nice low kicks in this fight. His takedown defense was good. I think he even got some takedowns of his own. This was just a very good performance from Jared. It showed you like how deep his bag really is in MMA, and I think it showed you that he still got it. He is still a threat for the top middleweights. Like, I think on his best day, he could beat anybody in the middleweight division. So I think that this is the other performance of the month. So yeah, Jared Cannonier, amazing, impressive fight, and I gotta give it performance of the month. So on to the last one, the fight of the month. I got Rob Font versus Gene Matsumoto. These guys were going back and forth on the feet. It was a war. Rob Font was able to get up from the takedowns. He was able to put it on Gene Matsumoto the whole fight. He was walking him down. Gene Matsumoto also looked very good on the feet for a massive jump up in competition. Going from Brad Katona to Rob Font and making it a close fight is very impressive. Like, I picked Rob Font to destroy him. I thought he was going to knock him out in like the second or third round. And Gene Matsumoto actually did make it very close. But this was just a great back and forth fight. Both guys had their moments, and Rob Font came out on top. I think people complaining about this fight being a robbery or fucking silly. That's just my opinion. But if you disagree, you're fucking gay. That's what I think. Rob Font won this fight. Gene Matsumoto, he did have some success, but Rob Font clearly won. This was impressive from Rob Font. Like I said, it was impressive from Gene Matsumoto to be able to have such a big step up in competition and be able to hang with Rob Font, who has fought everybody at bantamweight. he's really only lost to absolutely elite fighters, Rob Font, in the UFC. He's lost to like Jose Aldo, Corey Sandhagen. He lost to Cheeto, which is not great, but he was styling on Cheeto for like 4 minutes of every round, and then he'd get clipped once and start doing the chicken dance. So like that's just always been his problem. But Rob Font showed improved grappling in this fight. He was really going for it the whole time. Like you could tell he was hungry. He needed this win. So I got to give this fight of the month. Let me know what you guys thought of my UFC monthly awards. I'm gonna be doing this every month, and then at the end of the year, I'm gonna be doing obviously a yearly awards thing. Um, this is something that I think the UFC should actually do. They should be doing this every month. I don't see why not. Like, I think this would be a good idea to get more engagement. Um, and I think it would just be great. I think they should do it. Steal my idea, UFC. I give you the go-to. Do it. Steal my idea. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and goodbye.